Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Space Station Silicon Valley for the Nintendo 64. In the last video, we played Evo's Escape, and I got the bare minimum for Evo's robot arms. This is quite honestly the hardest level to beat. But once you beat it, you're basically going to have smooth sailing for the rest of the game. I say smooth sailing when, you know, you've been through a lot, if not a lot more tougher than this. Stuff that's been just as tough. But I think it's the former due to some of the stuff that we've had to go through just to get some of the Evo robot parts and even to complete some of the levels 100%. So now it's time to play our first desert level, Fun in the Sun. And the game kind of goes back to being easy here. To a point. Looks like the station's fuel supply is produced here. Wonder why the machine's shut down. So we need to restart the oil pump and we need to open the fuel line valves. So we're playing as an armed desert fox. We need to keep our distance from this camel so that we don't get shot up. And by shot up, I mean actually spit on. Ow. We really need the camel out of our way. At least it'll be good for jumping. Type, camel, environment, desert, skill A, jump, skill B, spit attack. Water resistance, okay. Mass heavy, armor light. Strength strong, traction good, fall distance medium, production long, engine bio, intelligence high. And we're actually going to switch back to the Desert Fox because we're going to need the Desert Fox. Just up ahead. Type, armed Desert Fox, environment desert. Skill A, jump, skill B, hot shots. Water resistance poor, mass light, armor light, strength weak, traction very good, fall distance medium, production short, engine electric, intelligence high. So as the armed Desert Fox, we have a three-way shot. And depending on the angle of the ground in which you're standing upon, you may fire straight ahead, though the shots do eventually fall down. But you may fire a little higher than you may like. As for the camel's spit attack, it's basically just the same as the elephant's water attack, basically. So there's not much difference between the camel and the elephant aside from native environment. That's basically it. Also, please make sure you don't shoot down the speaker. You're going to need it to get up here. Now, there is a power cell over there. We don't want to get it as the armed Desert Fox because the armed Desert Fox cannot handle the water. Believe it or not, it cannot. You will take damage from being in the water as the armed Desert Fox. Camel is okay though. And you do want to watch where you are going and shooting. Oh, neat. With the camel, or the camel. Well, at the camel. But when it comes to shooting with the armed Desert Fox, you want to be careful here. The way I've got the armed Desert Fox facing the camel and being in an area where the ground is shaped in such a way that I shoot a lot higher than I usually do. Now, no, I cannot hit the other guy. Can I get any angle here at all? no. I'm going to have to be careful how I do things. I may have to go all the way around. Or maybe this will help. Because I can still do a little bit of exploring here. And maybe use my hot shots to... The fact that the camera is not being the most cooperative thing in the world is not helping me much either. Huh. And if I get close enough to him, he is going to run at me. So I need to be careful. And I can't jump because, well, that's not going to help. Like, look at that. I shoot a lot higher with the side shots of three-way shot than I do with the regular one. And, well, that's not going to really help me much now, is it? Can I hit him from here? Nope, nope, nope. Ooh, boy. Okay, he's coming for me. Can I keep him behind me? Good. Eventually he'll stop. And he won't be able to jump towards me like he would if I was actually controlling him. So we got that going. We got him up in the open now. He's trying to reach me. It's not working. And he can't reach me with the spit attack either. So I can just stay up here, keep shooting, and then that will be that. So that took a little bit of doing, but I did it. And he is absolutely leaning. There we go. Now with these pyramids, you do want to keep jumping, so that way you can reach everything. Wanting to make sure I did get everything. And of course be ready to preserve health for when you need it. I also want to push this block over here because it'll make it easier to get around here. And of course, since we're the camel, we can easily get to this power cell. Alright. And we can get those two things up there too. Do want to explore some more just to be safe. See what else there is for me. And that's where we started. That block I pushed is where we need to go, as well as 2 more power cells. You do want to go over here with the armed desert fox again. You're going to need the better firepower for what you're going to do. And of course, when you approach this door, it's going to open automatically. Now, there's a few other armed desert foxes here. They're going to be just moving back and forth on patrol, and you need to be ready to shoot them down. As long as you keep your distance and you don't get too close to them, especially after attacking them, you won't get blown to bits by their own 3-way shots. I am playing this rather conservatively because I'd rather not lose a whole ton of health trying to do this. And there's also okay. Well, we can go over here. We can shoot from there. So there's that little guy in that direction. The other guy's going to come in from the other direction. I want to take out the outer guy first. And I didn't even hit the outer guy. Time to start experimenting with shots. I feel like that's my best bet. What's the best place to shoot from? Maybe I can actually hit people this way. Though I kind of doubt it having that go on. Looks like I'm going to have to do a little bit of experimentation if I want to get this without being absolutely decimated. It would also help if the camera was a bit more cooperative. I'll get this just to be safe. And then I'm going to follow him. I'm going to follow the inner guy. Long as I just keep on firing and just... Oh dear. I used more health than I should have. Well, that's no problem. We can go back. Thankfully, that does not stay close to us in case we need health. Because I remember seeing a crate over here. And I want to go get that. And there was also another one somewhere around here, though I may have already used the energy. No, I didn't. Yeah, let's just be careful from now on. And then we'll go after the inner fox again. Yeah, I'm referring to the guy, the little guy who goes in the much longer pattern around the square platform, the outer fox. And I'm calling the guy that I'm going to go back after again, the inner fox. That's the inner fox. They don't take a lot of shots to kill, but still, that's... yeah. Anyway, we need to jump on that switch to activate the oil pump. Now I know what I wanted to say. Those guys don't take a lot of shots. The shots do a lot of damage to them, but you risk taking damage yourself, and you just really want to be careful doing the things that you need to do around here. Because if you're not, well, things aren't going to go very well. And you will lose in what is ultimately a pretty easy stage. I do want to shoot this guy down too. There we go. And I want to watch where I'm going when I jump, so I don't fall down here. I believe you're supposed to go in this direction if you want to, well, get through the stage. I'm going to sneak past him. And I'm going to do that. Hey. Camera. What are you doing? Well, that'll do it. Well, that'll do a little bit of damage to him. Am I shooting down all of the armed desert foxes that you see around here? You will get a trophy. But in order to get to that trophy, we need to get to the top here. So we need to get on this platform, which can take a little bit of doing. It is possible. You can do it. You just got to do it at the right time, and you just got to make sure that you land on this little square platform. I believe you're expected to do it this way, because I can't really notice another way to do this. There we go. And now I need to get back on. Yeah, you have to do another jump after this, and it's to get to that switch. But once you get to that switch, you'll be able to activate an elevator. And that elevator will be the way to, well, get over here from now on. Just like that. Now we need to get to the top. And there are some platforms here. Whoa. And I didn't want to do that, but thankfully we have the elevator again. Don't want to drench myself. Do not get caught in the fire on those platforms. You will burn yourself, and it will cause a lot of damage. Once you get over here, get the trophy, get the power cell, take control of the vulture. Thankfully, he doesn't do much. Type, vulture, environment, desert. Skill A, flight. Skill B, grab and lob. Water resistance, excellent. Mass, medium. Armor, light. Strength, little lift. Traction, average. Fall distance, high. Production, medium. Engine, kerosene. Intelligence, medium. Now, he doesn't do much when we were fighting him, but he can grab other animals that you can take control of just in case. Now, with all that taken care of, we could have used the lift ability to take the armed desert fox with us in case we needed to shoot down the rest of the armed foxes, but thankfully you don't need to do that. Now we just need to fly to these fuel line valve wheels, and we need to turn all 4 of them. And we also need to get the last power cell while we do. And by turning the last fuel line valve, we get access to the exit once we get all 4. Teleporter is now active, so we just need to get to the elevator again, and we can just go from there. So when you have a really good idea of what you're doing, not a bad level. At least it's not as tough as some of the jungle levels that I've seen in more recent videos. But we were able to do this. We got the trophy. We got everything. Let's go ahead and just get to the teleporter. And we have completed our first desert level. Next up is hot cross buns, but we will take care of that level in the next video. So join me next time for that. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching.